Happy holidays from all of us here at Lichtsinn Motors. From my family to yours, happy holidays. Please have a safe and enjoyable next couple of weeks. I want to thank all of you for joining us today as we present live at 2 o'clock Central Time for you the all-new 2013 Itasca by Winnebago Ellipse 42QD and the Winnebago Tour 42QD. Just some logistical items before we get started. What I encourage all of you to do, and a lot of you have already done this, if you look in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you can give us your first name and then chat in a question, and we'll actually cover those as those questions are sent directly to my iPad. And if you log in and send in a question, we'll cover those, we'll interrupt, we'll go as we go throughout the interactive presentation, we'll cover those. And then we'll also leave the line open at the end of the interactive presentation so that we can cover Q&A. So again, just keep in mind that we are running live right now. We're just a mile north of the Winnebago, Itasca, and Era plant here in Forest City, Iowa, making us America's closest dealer to Winnebago Industries. Also, keep in mind that as we go through this interactive presentation, that any of our consultants here at our dealership at Lichtsinn Motors can do a live one-on-one interactive presentation with you on any of our in-stock coaches, whether it be a pre-owned travel trailer, fifth wheel. It could also be any type of a motorized coach that we have here in stock, so we can do these live. Also keep in mind that we are running in a flash setup, so if you have a flash browser you'll be able to see this webcast, and if you don't, you can certainly upgrade to that. You can run this on an iPad with different types of applications as well. We already have a couple of questions that have already been chatted in, so I'm going to cover those as we get going. I'm here today with Josh Dam, our marketing director, who's behind the camera. Also, I want to introduce Casey Singlestead, who is our RV sales manager. And we already have a couple of questions that have been chatted in, so I'm going to cover those right now. The first question that was chatted in was, what is the difference between Winnebago and Itasca? And that question was chatted in by John. And the difference between Winnebago and Itasca is pretty simple. Winnebago and Itasca run through a dual-line dealer network, much like the auto manufacturers. So most dealers are either a Winnebago or an Itasca dealer. However, all of our motorized coaches are made on the same line by the same people right here in Forest City. And in most cases, the employees don't even know which model they're actually building. The two coaches are identical in nature. There are no substantive differences between the two. So between Winnebago and Itasca, they largely are the same. We are one of the few dealers here in the country that offer Winnebago's entire lineup, the entire Winnebago, Itasca, and Era lineup, allowing us to give you an unbiased opinion so that we can tell you that there are no differences in substance between the Tour and the Ellipse. We're currently today in a 42QD floor plan. This is an Itasca by Winnebago Ellipse 42QD. And before we continue on, I'm going to cover one more question. Jake had sent in a question that had asked, what is the difference between the Journey and the Tour, and what is the difference between the Meridian and the Ellipse? And those are brother-sister lines, with the Winnebago Journey and Itasca Meridian being of the same line, and the Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse being of the same line. There really are three primary differences in my mind in terms of what the main differences are. They're both on the same Maxim chassis by Freightliner. They both run the 8.9 big block. The Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse do carry a 450 powertrain in that particular setup, and then also it's paired up with independent front suspension in the Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse. Also, if you look, Josh, if you can pan up and take a look at some of this cabinetry. All of the cabinetry in the Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse is all pure hardwood. So all of the coins, the wraps, the medallions inside the cabinetry. The only place we ever use veneer is in the underlayment of the cabinetry. All of the trim, the hardwood fronts, they're all hardwood throughout the Winnebago Tour and Itasca Ellipse, whereas in the Journey line we use veneer on the back side of the cabinetry. Also within the Winnebago Tour and the Ellipse, the Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse, there are some interior upgrades. You'll see this as we go through with respect to some of the flooring. In addition, within the heating and ventilation and air conditioning system, the Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse use an aqua-hot hydronic heating system. That allows us to offer what you'll see here as we go through the interactive presentation, an all-electric coach. So there is no propane in this coach. The aqua-hot hydronic system allows you to preheat the engine. It provides continuous unlimited hot water, and it also provides the ability to have the heat coming from the different diffusers throughout the coach. So we've covered those two questions. I'm going to throw the mic over to Casey Singlestead, our RV sales manager, who's going to continue on with the interactive presentation. I really encourage each of you to chat in questions as we go. We really only need to have you submit your first name, so it's completely anonymous. And just go ahead and submit your questions, and we'll cover them as we go.
All right, so I'm going to walk us through some of the interactive things within the Tour and Ellipse, specifically in the 42QD that we're in today. So as we're going to start here, one of the big features that Winnebago utilizes in a lot of their floor plans now and is becoming increasingly more popular is the sectional sofa. So right now we actually have it in the stowed position with the extra seat currently being in, and I'm going to go ahead and show you basically how that operates. So once you're to your location, you've got your slides out and you're ready to get set up. All that you'll need to do is just inside the arm, there's a little lever here that you'll pull. That releases this entire side to go ahead and slide that out. And then just in here, that you'll see this is where the seat as well as the backrest is stored inside of the sofa. And then of course you have your extra cushion that becomes your backrest. So as you can see, it's really easy to pull in and out, and then of course it gives you really great seating capacity here in your living area. Now this portion of the sectional is what Winnebago would call it's a rest easy sofa. It's a dual control, which means that each side works independently so that you can adjust them as however you'd like. So each side of it just simply has an electric push button that will allow you to either recline and it'll actually lay down all the way flat. Now below each cushion there is a footrest that there's just a lever down below. You'll pull that out to retrieve the ottoman that's down below. So when you do that, you're actually able to recline each side. You can either use it as a footrest as you sit and watch TV or read, whatever you may be doing as you're using the coach, because you can slide that back up against the sofa. So you get a lot of flexibility with the Rest Easy sofa that Winnebago uses in several of their coaches throughout the Winnebago and Itasca line. And
then also when both of these ottomans are out and both of the seat cushions are fully reclined, it does convert into a 60 by 75 inch queen bed. So you have a nice sleeping surface up front here when you bring the two ottomans out and the chair back's fully reclined. So again, a 60 by 75 inch queen bed. Also, you can see down below there's also safety belts within the sectional sofa. So a real ingenious setup that the Stitchcraft group of Winnebago Industries have put together with this wonderful sectional. You can also see, if you kind of bring down to the left-hand side, you can see one of the diffusers from the aqua-hot hydronic heating system that comes through with the aqua-hot 450D that we're using.
Yep, so then the second side of the Rest Easy sofa, the controls for that are located just behind you when you are sitting in the sofa. And then you'll also find two cup holders back there for your convenience as well. If you want to kind of get a shot back behind the sofa so that you can see that. Really great lighting here in the sectional area with the two accent lights as well as the overhead reading lights as well.
Casey, we just had a question chatted in. If you could talk a little bit about what type of leather this is and how to care for it.
Sure. Winnebago uses what's called ultra leather. It is a synthetic leather that they use that is extremely durable. It's not as sensitive to temperature change. So it won't be as what you think of when it gets hot in the summer. You're not going to stick to it the same way that you would with genuine leather. And it also, as I mentioned, it's very durable. So you probably have some genuine leather things, whether it's in your car, maybe a sofa or recliner at home, and you'll notice that over time that leather tends to crack and crease. It'll collect dirt and oil in those creases, so it's just harder to care for. This ultra leather will not do that. We have a really great comparison that any of our sales consultants can send you that compares a 2002 coach to a newer RV, one having ultra leather and one which does not, and there's just a huge difference in the way that the leather held up. So, and it's also very, very soft to the touch. It's very comfortable as well. So this is what Winnebago uses. Anywhere that you see leather is what they call ultra leather. It comes in many different colors so that you'll be sure to get exactly what you like. So, all right, well, we'll kind of move into the galley area. And one of the nice features in the 42QD is that they do have a pull-out countertop extension. And so there's just simply a little lever that's down below that will release this to allow you to bring it out. It's a very sturdy countertop. Again, Winnebago uses all Corian countertops. As you can see, one of the upgraded features as a part of the Touring Ellipse is the fact that you do get the double-lipped Corian. So you get a little bit of that color variance, gives you another accent, just looks really nice. But this extra countertop space obviously is going to give you a lot more working area while you are using the kitchen, and you also get really nice deep drawers. Here, Josh, if you want to take a look at that. The one actually has the dividers in it so that it's easy for you to use for utensils, but as you can see, it's a very long drawer. Winnebago, of course, uses full-length extension drawers on metal ball-bearing glides so that you can use the entire space that's available. So you get 3 really great drawers within that countertop extension, and again, very easy to slide in and out. As Ron had mentioned earlier, this is all electric coach, so there is no LP tank. Part of that is that it comes with the induction cooktop. This is a new option for 2013. So as you can see, you get 2 different burners that you can use. All very easy to keep clean, easy to use, just simply touch controls located right on the glass top. Up above that is where you'll find the Whirlpool microwave convection oven system. This is an upgraded oven that Winnebago started offering in 2013 or 2012. I don't recall off the top of my head, but very easy to use. It actually has a touch screen right here on the front. I don't know if you can get a good shot at that, but it actually has memory in it so that you can use most used. So this will be kind of your common things that you'd be reheating. So leftover casseroles reheat, French fries, chicken nuggets, ground beef defrosting, melting butter and margarine, all very easy. It's just by the touch of a button. Going back to your main screen, you have cook methods. So this is where you'll go to if you want to reheat, defrost, cook, melt. You've got lots of different choices. There are 11 different choices of what type of cooking or heating you'd like to do. And then there's even a kids menu. So lots of things that, like a hot dog, the different snack pockets, very easy to use. And then along with the other controls that are on the front, as you can see, we've got a popcorn control, just your simple microwave. You select the time that you want to use. Very easy to walk through. Of course, it comes with a great manual as well for additional information, but ultimately an easy appliance to walk through. Down below, you'll notice we do have the Fisher-Paykel, the dishwasher. Really great capacity within that dishwasher. Down underneath the sink, you'll see that you get really great storage, goes really deep back into the counter, and also gives you a great spot for location of your trash can as well. That's located just on the opposing side.
And Casey, I hate to interrupt, but we had a question from Tom actually wanting to know, does the induction cooktop require a lot of electricity? Good question. I don't necessarily think it does. I mean, most of the time you're going to be plugged in, but keep in mind that this coach does have a 2800 watt pure sine wave inverter. So if you are dry camping or hotel camping in the coach, the reason why we're able to use an all electric coach is because there are 6 AGM glass mat batteries within the coach, and we pair that up with a 2800 watt pure sine wave inverter. So literally everything within this coach, including the induction cooktop, can be run off of the 2800 watt pure sine wave inverter. The reason why we use a pure sine wave inverter is because it provides cleaner power for some of our high-end appliances, such as the residential refrigerator and some of the entertainment systems that we're using. And so that's why we use a pure sine wave inverter, which is a nice upgrade, as we've been doing some competitive analysis against brands that compete against Winnebago. Just coming off of the National RV Trade Show in Louisville, Kentucky, we found that a lot of other manufacturers are still using just a 2,000 watt and a non-pure sine wave inverter. So this induction cooktop, excuse me, and all of our appliances will run directly off of that inverter if you are dry camping or hotel camping, especially a lot of the high-end entertainment systems that we are using. And actually, while I'm actually covering some questions, there was another question that came in from Charles wanting to know if the coach requires to drive. All of our RVs that we offer, so long as they're used for personal use and not for commercial, do not require a CDL. So a good question on that. And Jack actually had submitted another question around getting propane. Even if you're doing a lot of dry camping, they do a lot of dry camping, it sounds like, for air shows and racing. There are solar panels that come on the roof to keep your house batteries trickle charged. And I think you'll find that the 6 AGM glass mat batteries, in conjunction with the solar and the automatic generator start system that we'll cover here in a little bit, will provide you ample capability for that.
All right. So again, we're in the 42QD floor plan. Just beyond the galley is where you'll find the little separate half bath, so that when you do have guests with, you can go ahead and block out the entire bedroom and the full bathroom area, because you do have this half bath located here in the middle of the coach. And just beyond that in the hallway is where you're going to find your monitor panel. Winnebago does a really great job. They conceal this with one of their hardwood cabinet doors. So that way your entire control panel, for one thing, it's all located in one convenient place. So all of your switches, buttons, slide room controls, heating, air conditioning, all of that's all in one convenient location. Working from the top down, you've got your AquaHot system. Of course, that's all of your heating in the Winnebago Tour and Itasca Ellipse. So you have your engine preheat, your electric heat, then as well as your diesel burner. So a really great system for instant hot water. Moving down from that, you have all of your slide room controls. You do have a powered slide room lock that's for your full wall slide that's located on the driver's side of the coach, along with your passenger side locks. And Winnebago does utilize a master slide room control switch. So this is one of the three things that you need in order to operate your slide room, is simply for this key to be turned on. You need your parking brake, of course, engaged, and then it's also good to have your engine on as well for additional power. Moving down, you have your RV comfort. This is your true air system. So you have 3 different zones to control for your air conditioning, and then as well as you'll control your furnace or your AquaHot through here as well for your heat. One place panel. This is where you can turn on and off your water pump, as well as check all of your tank levels. So again, all one easy to read digital reading of your fresh gray and black water, as well as a battery level as well. Moving down is your Powerline energy management system. This is what Winnebago utilizes to help you manage how much power you are currently using. So as you can see now, we're currently pulling 16 to 17 amps. And what that does is it'll tell you what you're plugged into, and should you, currently we're plugged into 20 amps. So if we were to turn on additional appliances, that we were to go above that 20 amps, Winnebago will shed your appliances. See if I can get to the screen. Here we go. So it'll shed some of your appliances that aren't as necessary, that you won't notice are being turned off, so that way it'll help you avoid blowing breakers when you have too many things on than the amperage that you have available.
And we just, I hate to interrupt, but we just had a question from John that had chatted in and wanted to know if the coach runs off of 50 or 30 amp service.
The Itasca Ellipse and Winnebago Tour are 50 amp service, as well as the Winnebago Journey and Itasca Meridian as well is all 50 amp. So you do have 50 amps available. That's what will allow you to run everything in the coach. You can of course plug it into 30 amps, or we're currently into 20, so you can adapt that down should you need to, but you do have 50 amps available. And then moving down, you have your controls for your generator as well. As Ron had mentioned, this does have an automatic generator start system. This will allow your generator to automatically turn on should you lose power when you're at a campground, to allow whatever systems you currently have turned on to continue running instead. So it's a really great management system for that, especially for those of you traveling with pets. When you do leave your pets in the coach, should you lose power, that would allow your generator to automatically start and turn your air conditioner on as well. And then just next to that would be your control panel for the inverter, which is that 2800 watt inverter that Ron was discussing earlier.
Another nice feature to this is that you can actually leave it in a UPS mode or an uninterruptible power supply mode. So if one of you in the coach is getting ready in the morning and you might have an appliance running, if you want to get the coach ready to leave, you can actually unplug the coach, and this will automatically flip over from shoreline power to running off of those 6 AGM glass mat batteries and provide you continuous uninterruptible power supply.
All right, so that's kind of just the quick overview of your control panel and everything that's located in there. As you work your way down, just below where the control panel is actually where you find your central vacuum system. So there's a couple different features to this. You have this area here is where you can actually plug in your hose to use it just as a vacuum as you would at home. So you have this option here, and then one of the nice features Winnebago made available in 2013 is that you can get their polished porcelain tile throughout the entire coach, which means that instead you'll do a lot of sweeping. And so what's nice is that they do give you a toe kick here so that you're able to sweep all of that into one area and then literally just sweep that out. And so that'll all go down into a vacuum bag that's located down into your basement, where you actually have an additional outlet there for this same type of hose hookup, so that you can easily vacuum out all of your exterior compartments as well.
You know, and it's amazing right now. We're just plugged into a residential outlet outside of our RV facility, and so, I mean, you can see the number of things that you can run just off the 20 amp service.
All right, so we'll go ahead and kind of work our way back into the bedroom and rear bathroom area. As you can see, of course, being only 1 mile from the factory, we are completely factory fresh. So as you can see, we've got all of our bedroom pillows and comforters are all wrapped up in plastic currently. But this is the king size pneumatic bed. So what that means is it is powered up and so that you can go ahead and bring that up and down, which ultimately allows Winnebago to have a full drawer dresser stack across from the bed without having to recess that further in. But it's just a simple switch to go ahead and lay down that king bed. Very easy to use. That'll allow you to take that all the way down. This is the ideal rest king bed as well, so you do have 2 separate controls located on each side of the bed that will allow each person to adjust to their exact comfort level for the amount of air that is in the mattress.
You know, and I think people tend to underestimate the value of this bed because this is a true 80-inch depth bed. And what a lot of other manufacturers do, which Winnebago does not, is if you look in this cabinet, Josh, if you can just swivel around here, you can see that within this wardrobe closet that you get a full wardrobe closet with full drawer stacks. And if you look at some competing models, the way that they get around not using a pneumatic bed is they notch this out and then the bed slides underneath it. So you get a true 80-inch depth king bed, but you don't have the disadvantage of cutting out your cabinet. So you get the best of both worlds, so to speak. But the pneumatic bed is also nice because if you are watching TV at night, you can leave that propped up. If, you know, heaven forbid, one of you that are laying in bed has a little bit of a sniffle or a cold, you can elevate the back of it. And with the new motor that we're using in 2013, it's very quick to bring up and down, very easy to get your slides in. Another question that had just been chatted in by Charles, how can you actually recline the bed? There's actually switches on each side of the bed, so either side of the bed can do it. But it is not a split bed, so to speak. So it is all up or down on both sides, so it's not a split pneumatically reclining bed.
Right. Both sides always move together, but you just do have 2 separate controls, so that way, regardless of which side of the bed you are currently laying on, you're able to still control the bed.
Two more questions that were just chatted in with respect to this bed, wanting to know whether or not a queen bed is offered in the 42QD. We can certainly customize anything. I mean, anything is possible. It's not available in terms of just a stock option, but we could certainly request that and have that customized by Winnebago Industries. They do a real nice job of customization. Another question that was chatted in is, why do we not use Select Comfort as we did in previous years? And I think the best answer to that, and I think some of our former customers might attest to this, is we've had a little bit better success in terms of the pump stabilization with Ideal Rest compared to Sleep Number. Even though I have Sleep Number in my home and haven't had any problems, we've had a little bit more, less maintenance and a little bit more durability out of the Ideal Rest system. It's still a his and hers side, so to speak, for lack of a better word. You still have dual chambers on each side, and you can still select your Sleep Number, so to speak. We've even had a couple of customers from Florida actually that had contacted me last month wanting to know where they could get an Ideal Rest bed for their home. So the nice thing about that is then you always know what your Sleep Number is, whether you're on the road or at home.
All right, I think we can go ahead and move back into the rear bathroom area. So this is going to be your full bathroom that's located in the rear of the coach. Again, this is in the 42QD floor plan of the Winnebago Tour and Itasca Ellipse. So they do use, just as in the half bath, they do have the electric toilet that has the automatic flush system that's located just on the wall. And you get two different options for that. As you can see, there's two different buttons that you can select. One of which is designed to conserve water versus then, of course, a full flush as well. So you get two different options there. So no more foot pedestal or foot flushes.
And the thought behind using Vacuity Assist Flush is that it allows us flexibility in our floor plans, because no longer then do we have to place a toilet directly over the black tank. So we can place our toilet locations anywhere. And with a bath and a half floor plan, that allows us a lot more flexibility in using the Vacuity Assist Flush.
All right. Located just next to where the toilet is located is actually where you have your separate washer and dryer. Winnebago uses the Splendid washer and dryer, which is extremely well known within the RV manufacturing world, and lots of RVers really appreciate this washer dryer system. Does a really great job. Not only does it have really great capacities, but also doesn't use very much water as well. So a really great washer dryer system that Winnebago uses here. Again, this is separate. Previously, a few years back, it was primarily only the combination washer dryer that you would see that was just one unit, which was great. However, this way, like I said, you get increased capacities, and essentially you can be doing two loads at one time instead. So that's located just here in the rear bathroom. And then, of course, you have your separate vanity sink. Kind of close us in back here. Another nice thing that Winnebago does here is they do give you a really great storage space here in the rear bathroom. What's nice is that this shelf that's located here is adjustable so that you can adjust the height up and down, but then they also give you the clothes rod up top. So if you did either want to take this shelf completely out or just adjust it to the lowest height setting, you can use that as an additional shirt closet as well, in addition to the his and hers wardrobes that are located in the bedroom.
And then Josh, if you can just pan down and cover the countertops. Melody had chatted in a question just as we were leaving the galley that I wanted to cover, wanting to know what material the countertops are made out of. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to show the fact that we do utilize Corian by DuPont branded countertops, even in the bath areas. We saw that in the galley, we saw it in the half bath, and now in the full bath back here. You can see the Corian countertops with the molded drop-in style basin, the single control lavatory faucet, and then the integrated soap dispenser.
All right. And then, of course, the only last feature in the bathroom, of course, is the shower.
The big shower.
The big shower. A really nice sized bathroom, or shower in particular, located here in the 42QD. You do get the bench as well, which is really nice, as well as the adjustable shower head, where you can adjust your pressure, as well as, of course, the on and off that will allow you to conserve water as well when you are out camping. And then, of course, a really nice sized skylight that will give you some additional natural light here in the rear bathroom. All right.
And then as we work our way out of the bath here, Josh, I'm going to ask that you kind of walk out backwards and get a good panning shot of the full bath.
You can fit lots of people in here.
Sneak by here, pardon me.
Sneak out of there.
And then actually, as we go by the king bed again, I want to cover one other question that I think I failed to answer accurately for Reed that had chatted in. Not Reed, our sales consultant, by the way. But Reed wanted to know what actually powers the pneumatically reclining bed, and it is a 12-volt electric motor. So it can be utilized when dry camping or hotel camping. But again, it is just a very simple 12-volt electric motor. Here you can see some of the diffusers down below as well for the AquaHot hydronic heating system.
Yep, and then down below the bed is also where you'll have some more of, currently over here we're looking at some of the fuses, of course, and then on the opposite side is where you'll find the converter.
And just for those of you that don't know, the converter is actually what takes electricity and charges your RV batteries.
All right, so on the opposite side, as we kind of talked about before, really great storage here in the bedroom area. Lots of hanging wardrobe space on both sides, as well as the full dresser stack or drawer stack that is below. We'll kind of work our way farther forward, moving on this full wall driver's side slide. Located just next to the refrigerator is a really nice pantry that Winnebago added for 2013. So you get some really great space here for some of those canned goods, spices, those types of things that might otherwise roll away on you. And then that actually pulls forward to reveal even more storage. So this has some pull-out drawers in it, which is great to help keep things organized for you, as well as an adjustable shelf as well. So three additional pantry drawers, as well as the adjustable shelf up top. So really great space within the pantry. And then 2 additional drawers that's actually located just below that as well.
And then if I can rudely interrupt one more time, another question on the bed. Charles wanted to know if it is wired for a CPAP machine. Electrical outlets on the right-hand side of the bed. So certainly set up for a CPAP machine. Also the nice thing, again, going back to our 2800 watt inverter, you can certainly run that then throughout the middle of the night, even if you don't have shoreline power and without running your generator. So good question.
Winnebago has added that to a lot of their coaches for 2013, where they do have outlets located in the bedroom that are hooked up to the inverter so that you can run things like CPAP machines throughout the night, as Ron said, without having shoreline power or your generator running.
And then coming off of that same question off of the pantry, Michelle had chatted in a question wanting to know whether or not this is all hardwood. And it absolutely is. All the face frames, the cabinet construction, the coins, the medallions, the wraps, these are all true hardwood, handcrafted here in Forest City by Winnebago Industries. Winnebago Industries uses computer-aided design to custom build these cabinets. Now the advantage to you, the consumer, is that when you can do that, you can minimize any of the tolerances for gaps, which long-term down the road will minimize any squeaks, rattles in transit. So again, using computer-aided design, this is all hardwood.
Yep, so same thing as you look inside the pantry, this whole shelving unit here, that's all true hardwood as well. All right, just next to that, of course, is the residential refrigerator, which everybody loves. Just like what you'd have at home. The new convenient freezer drawer that's located down below. You get some great shelving options down here. Really great capacity here in the freezer. And then, of course, up above would be your refrigerator. You do get the indoor water and ice. And then, of course, just a massive refrigerator space. So lots of room to bring along whatever you'd like. One of the great features of the 42QD is that it does have the buffet table. Winnebago offers this throughout a lot of their floor plans. Gives people the flexibility of the freestanding table and chairs so that you're not sliding in and out of a booth. But then you also still get the storage that's located at the rear with additional countertop space as well. So whether you use that for decorating purposes or if you need that for the additional space when you are preparing food or eating dinner, you have additional countertop as well. Now throughout the coach we do have the MCD shades that Ron is pulling up and down now. You do have 2 different shades there. First, of course, is the solar roller shade. So this is going to block out the glare of the sun during the day, but as you can see, you can still see through the window when it is pulled down, which is great, in opposed to the day-night shades. And then, of course, the blackout roller shade as well, that'll completely black everything out for you at night, or just for additional privacy. And so what's really great about those is so easy to use. It's just a simple pull and release system. You can adjust the speed at which they retract, as well as their stopping points. And so again, that's located throughout the coach on all of your windows.
And I wanted to demonstrate this right now because Dennis had chatted in a question wanting to know what window coverings were actually standard. And the MCD shades are standard in this coach and actually many other coaches that we offer here at Winnebago Industries.
As we're kind of looking at the window valances, this was a really nice upgrade that Winnebago added for 2013 in the Tour and Ellipse, is that they did add the accents of the additional hardwood that match your cabinetry then throughout their window valances as well, so it really gives that a nice touch. Now kind of going back to the buffet table, the table you can pull in and out. There's an additional leaf for that. There's actually 3 locking positions that you can use. This would be the position when it is completely stored and your slide rooms are all in. So as you can see, it's still a nice little table for 2. And then you can go ahead and open that up to the location that we had it before, so you get a little bit more additional seating space, maybe if it is still just 2 of you while you're parked. And then there's an additional length where you can pull it all the way out. There are 2 additional folding chairs that are located down in the basement of the coach that do match the upholstery that's on the stationary chairs, so that you can seat 2 additional people, and then just simply add in the additional Corian leaf. In the 42QD, they give you a really great place to store that. It's actually moving forward here. You have the nice little flip-up table for when you are using the lounge chair. This particular lounge chair, this is the hoop-based lounge chair. The other option would be for the Euro lounge chair. The Euro lounge chair is what we stock in our coaches, so if you've watched any of our walk-around videos that are on our website, you'd see the Euro chair there. This would be the hoop base, which is the other option. But that additional Corian leaf for your buffet table is actually stored just here. So when this table is stored, you can see it just simply pulls out of this storage location. And again, that completely coordinates with the rest of the table. It is the Corian countertop with the extra lip and then the hardwood sides. This particular coach has the glazed honey cherry cabinetry. You get there's 3 different options throughout the Winnebago Tour and Itasca Ellipse for cabinetry colors, so that you can get it in whichever shade you like. This is kind of the middle shade. They do have one offering that's darker as well as one that's lighter. So moving forward is where you'll find the fireplace. Currently we just have the flame on without any heat, so if you'd like it just for more of kind of an ambiance type of effect, you can turn it on just to have the flame on. But then you also have controls that it will actually do a really great job of kicking out quite a bit of heat. You have lots of different settings. You can adjust the amount of flame that you have, as well as the amount of heat. So a really great feature to have here in the Ellipse and Tour. That is something that's available, and it actually does come with a remote as well, so that you don't always have to get up in order to adjust that. So you can do that as you're sitting. All right, we'll kind of gradually work our way up into the cab areas where we're headed. In 2013, Winnebago added the additional offering of the luxury cab chairs, which is what is in this particular 42QD. There are going to be 3 different options. You have what comes standard on the coach, which would be the oversized queen chair that would be here on the passenger side. There's also the option for the tablet chair. Again, if you watch any of the walk-around videos that are on our website, that's the way that we stock our 42 QDs that we have here at Lichtsinn Motors. So that would have the computer tablet that would pull out so that you can use that as you're driving down the road. And then, of course, these are the luxury cab seats that are new for 2013. A few different features that come along with this is that it actually does have a massager. So that control is located just here on your right-hand side as you're sitting. So I don't know if you can get a good shot at that controller. We get lots of different options for that massage feature. And then as well as, it is a heated chair as well, so that control is right here with the rest of the massager as well. So a couple different settings for that. You can adjust the intensity and speed of the massager, and then of course the 4 different zones throughout the chair as well. Just on the front here, you'll see this here would be the release to allow you to swivel the chair. But the other nice thing about this is that it does have a powered footrest on it as well. All of the chairs that would be here on the passenger side do have the footrest in it. However, the luxury cab chair, it is powered instead.
And that's using the same type of 12-volt motor that we use, whether it be in the Rest Easy or back in the pneumatically reclining king bed.
Right. Both chairs are 6-way power adjustable. Again, that comes on all of the chairs that are available as an option in the Winnebago Tour or Itasca Ellipse. We're going to take a look here kind of in your cab area and just kind of briefly touch on a few of the items here. So kind of working your way around, the first big thing that you'll have is the LCI electronic leveling system. So this is going to control all of your leveling jacks. You can do this either manually or automatically. Very easy touchpad system to use. Moving forward, you've got your solar and night shades that are on your front windshield. They're actually powered, and I'll kind of, if you want to take a look at that, it's just a simple touch system. So you have a full solar shade that can come down that again will block out the sun during the day or while you're driving. It does have a separate stopping point for while you're driving down the road that it will not allow the shade to go below that point for safety reasons. And then of course also your night shade that can be completely pulled down for privacy once you are parked at your campground. So very easy to use, a lot more attractive than the pull around curtains. So again, just on a simple touch button system. One of the really great things that Winnebago does is they actually use what they call a smart wheel, which basically means that you get a lot of convenient controls located right here on your steering wheel. So as you can see over here, you have the different, this would be for your headlights located here, all of your radio controls located here in the center, as well as a camera control, and then you have your windshield wipers that are located here on the right hand side. Now this steering wheel is completely adjustable so that you can adjust that to whatever height you'd like, and then as well it pulls in and out as well so that you can get completely comfortable while you are driving down the road. Heading over to the right-hand side of the cab area, one of the great things that Winnebago does is they do offer 2 separate screens because you do have so many different things that you can have running at one time. So you get lots of different modes. Of course, you have your radio, your camera system, which is both in the rear, as well as, of course, your side cameras that work right with your blinkers. So very easy to use there. Your Bluetooth system, you can hook up your phone right to it. You can take calls as you're driving down the road. You can make calls without having to fumble around on your cell phone. So a really great safety feature there as well. iPod, your navigation system. So the really great thing is that way, if you want to have your camera system and your radio running on one screen, you can have your navigation system then located on the second screen that's more so pointed at the passenger seat. So that way your passenger can help direct you down the road and you don't have to be concerned with that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say Winnebago uses a nice navigation system that allows you to get updates through just a flash memory card. So no longer do you have to buy DVDs or subscribe to a subscription or anything. You can just update the memory card by going to a simple website. There's different options in terms of getting map updates, but a real simple setup for the navigation system.
All right, that kind of covers some of the basic features up here in the cab area.
And we just had a question chatted in, and I think we'll cover it now because it's appropriate. Can you dock an iPhone to the radio?
Ah.
Yep, and you can see the control there, Josh, on the left there next to the keys.
Just to the left of where your ignition key is actually a docking station. The coach will come with several different adapters depending on the type of Apple device that you have. So whatever form of iPod that you have will adapt to it. If you have an iPhone, the touch screen, the Nano, whatever it may be, you get several different adapters, and you can simply slide your phone just inside here and it'll plug into your radio so that you can run through that. The pedals on the Tour and Ellipse are power adjustable. So again, you have lots of different adjustments that you can use to make sure that you are completely comfortable and don't get fatigued during your longer drives.
And the nice thing about those is those are light-duty passenger in style, so they're hydraulic over air, so you don't have a treadle brake, which is used in more of the over-the-road type of diesel setups. That is also a minor difference between the Winnebago Journey and the Winnebago Tour, and then comparatively the Itasca Meridian and the Itasca Ellipse that we're in currently.
Right, so the Journey and Meridian would have the treadle style brake, whereas the Tour and Ellipse has the adjustable powered brake. All right, kind of the last thing up here in the cab area is I do want to point out the entertainment system that's located just above the passenger seat. This is Winnebago's HDMI matrix system that basically just makes running all of your theater, satellite, auxiliary, all of your TVs that much easier because you can run it all through one matrix system. So you do get one remote that you can use throughout the coach as well as the exterior on your outside entertainment that'll allow you to easily choose what type of TV you're wanting to watch, whether that be your cable TV, satellite, DVD, whatever the case may be. You also get a convenient light located just inside of this compartment so that it is easy to see as you're in there as well. And of course, lots of additional shelves for anything else that you'd like to add to your entertainment system as well. It does come with the Blu-ray player is what comes standard inside of the coach.
Yeah, so the main reason why we had to go to a matrix selection system is because with all of our digital TVs, with this up front one being a 40-inch LCD TV, and then also the high-definition television in the bedroom and also the high-definition television on the outside, is that it allows us to preserve the digital signal, whether it's coming from one of two different satellite receivers or the Blu-ray, which allows us to watch high-definition programming off of DVDs. And it preserves that digital signal by using an HDMI cable that runs to each of those TVs. This comes with a remote for not only the matrix system, but also to control the Blu-ray setup and the satellite receivers from any of those TVs. So you don't actually have to leave this cabinet open. You can keep it concealed and still utilize all of the remote features from the matrix system, which allows you to tailor which of those you want to watch where, or the satellite receivers or the Blu-ray. The coach is pre-wired for satellite. This particular one has an in-motion satellite. I noticed earlier.
Is it this one? Yeah.
That you can see in the upper left-hand corner there with the King Dome. We have a really wonderful video on Satellite 101 on our YouTube channel, and then also on our that's the icy road alert. And then also in our video library on Lichtsinn.com that talks about the 3 different styles of satellite and then what to look out for as to whether or not you're using Dish Network or DirecTV. And I think what we'll do next, if it's okay with you guys, is I'm going to have Josh do a little bit of a panning shot. I've got a half a dozen questions or so that I haven't covered yet. And then we'll also leave this open for other questions and answers. If you guys want to chat in your questions, we'll certainly cover them now. I'm going to have Josh do one sweeping shot and bring you back over towards the refrigerator, Josh, if you would, because we have had a few more on the refrigerator. The main question is what actually powers the refrigerator. And the refrigerator is electric, so it's a residential refrigerator just like you'd find in your home. And it does require electricity, whether that be from the shoreline or from the generator, but also through that 2800 watt pure sine wave inverter. So if you're dry camping or hotel camping and you're not running your generator, what you would very simply do is just throw on your 2800 watt pure sine wave inverter, and then you have the entire coach hot off of the RV batteries. Consistent with that, Dwayne had chatted in a question wanting to know if there is an LP option. And actually with the Winnebago Tour and Itasca Ellipse, standard actually is a gas cooktop with a conventional LP tank in the LP compartment. The factory installed option is to go to the all-electric coach, which then replaces the standard range top with the induction cooktop and converts that LP compartment to a storage compartment on the outside of the coach. Dwayne had also chatted in a question wanting to know if there are 110 volt outlets in the basement of the Tour and the Ellipse. And Winnebago includes some, but they really leave that open to the consumer, not knowing exactly where those locations would be that the consumer wants. They don't necessarily flood the compartments with 110 volt outlets. Knowing in advance if somebody were to order one, we could certainly have those factory installed as well prior to the customer taking delivery. And then Josh, if you can swing back over to the entertainment setup. Charles had a few questions on the TV source. With the Samsung TV that we use, this is a 40-inch LCD television up front. Right now we're just running this off of local off-air high-definition programming. We do this through the King Controls jack antenna, which is actually up on the roof. What's nice about the King Controls jack antenna is that it's a fixed mast antenna, which means that you don't have to crank it down, and you certainly don't have to worry about cranking it up or down when you're getting ready to leave or take off. The other advantage to it is, if we swing over here, Josh, inside this roof, is that you can actually see that you can fine-tune the entire lineup using the digital LED strength meter from inside the coach. So again, you don't have to worry about cranking the antenna up or down. You very simply swivel it to where you get the best digital LED strength meter and then pull in your channel lineup. We certainly get a lot better reception out of this jack antenna. In fact, some of our pre-owned coaches have already converted their local off-air Winegard antenna to a jack-style antenna. And then continuing on with TV sources, if we come back to that television, you use the HDMI matrix selection system to select your source. So if you wanted to watch local off-air high-definition programming, you'd actually do it through the King Control jack antenna that we just showed you. Otherwise, what you do is just simply switch your remote to engage the Blu-ray system, or engage the satellite system that we can install on the coach here at our dealership, whether it be a stationary dish, a stationary automatic, or certainly an in-motion as well. So that's how you get the different TV sources into each of these different televisions. And again, one remote control, you can actually control the input of the matrix system from any of the televisions. Dwayne had also chatted in a question on the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, wanting to know that if you do want an LP tank, do you still get the AquaHot system? And the AquaHot system, again, that's an AquaHot 450D. It's a 59,000 BTU. That still comes standard. So really the only thing that you're swapping out for the all-electric coach option is the induction range top, and then getting a little bit more storage in the basement where that LP cylinder would go. The LP cylinder is a 28-gallon LP cylinder if you opt to do that. When you do that, you still have the residential refrigerator, you still have the 2800 watt inverter, and you still get the 6 AGM glass mat batteries. Dennis had chatted in a question wanting to know the difference between hydraulic versus air leveling. We've always used hydraulic leveling. We tend to find that we get a little bit more precise readings with respect to hydraulic. If you're there for an extended amount of time, we've also found that you get a little bit more stability in it not tweaking over time. What's great about the LCI component system is that you can literally level this coach to a specific degree. Some people that are experienced RVers really tend to get elaborate with this with respect to where they may want water runoff if they're at one site for a continuous amount of time. Some people also get a little bit elaborate. They may actually contend that you can get a slightly better black tank or gray tank dump depending on the level of the coach. So if you ever see people utilizing their levelers at the dump station, that's why they're doing that. But we've always used hydraulic levelers. The LCI system, as I mentioned, that's manual or automatic, and again, you can actually level the coach to a specific degree. So really, really good technical questions. Keep them coming in. We're going to keep the Q&A open here for a few more minutes. Tom had also just chatted in a question. Do you have a number of hours the refrigerator will run on batteries before the generator must kick in? Our experience has been, in terms of what we're seeing in the field, anywhere from about 22 to 26 hours. I think it's actually been tested in a standalone environment for quite a bit longer, but in practicality we're finding that it's certainly not a whole lot more than one full day. The advantage to that is that because of the automatic generator start system, when those batteries do get low, they reserve enough power to actually fire the generator. So in conjunction with the solar panels that are on the roof, the automatic generator start, you should always have power for the 6 AGM glass mat batteries if you are dry camping or hotel camping. Dwayne also had another question with respect to the AquaHot system. If you currently have an AquaHot system, can you add a propane tank? And to answer your question, Dwayne, I mean, literally anything is possible. You know, we could bring the coach back to Winnebago Industries to have them take that compartment, if it is an all-electric coach, and run in a propane cylinder. I'm guessing, I'd have to look up the specs on your coach, but I'm guessing that at this point you probably have an induction system, so that would need to be changed as well. If you're just simply looking at adding a propane tank, you know, we could look at having Winnebago customize that storage compartment into a traditional LP cylinder compartment, because right now I'm sure that it's roughed in for the storage compartment. Because I think what we were hoping to do is add LP probably for some different purposes. So really great questions. We're going to keep the questions and answers open here for a few minutes as Josh is panning throughout the coach. And then Bob had actually just chatted in a question wanting to know what's actually standard. The coach does come standard with the AquaHot hydronic heating system. It also comes standard with a 28-gallon propane tank. Also, what comes standard with that is a traditional LP range. Then if you go to the all-electric option, what you actually do is you take the induction cooktop and place that in, and then actually change the storage compartment to allow you for more cubic storage in the basement to remove the propane cylinder. So again, the AquaHot system is standard, and standard is the 28-gallon propane cylinder, and standard is an LP range top. But the AquaHot system really provides three different purposes. One, it provides engine preheat, it provides continuous unlimited hot water, and then also it provides the heat to the coach from the basement area, which also keeps your tanks from freezing because it does provide the basement heat. Another question had just been chatted in with respect to the slide outs. All of our slide outs in this coach are electric, and so they run off of 12 volt. It's a 12 volt electric motor. We recommend certainly that you have the engine running because your 6 AGM glass mat batteries actually charge several different ways. Your AGM glass mat batteries will charge when the engine's running. So since they're running off of that, if you keep the engine running, you'll have more power. And again, all of the slide outs are electric. So really good question. Tom had actually just asked a clarification question, which I'll certainly cover. With respect to the AquaHot is run two different ways. It's either run when you're plugged in through the shoreline power, or it runs off of the diesel burner. So the advantage there is that you don't need the propane cylinder to power the AquaHot because it actually runs off of being plugged in or through running your generator. or it can actually run off of the top 3/4 of the fuel tank. Dennis had also chatted in a question, are the slides screw jacks or cables? It is very simply a 12 volt motor, that runs over a worm gear style mechanism. So we don't use the cables like some other manufacturers that actually pull these in. So really great questions. Keep them coming in. We'll keep the questions and answers open here for a few more minutes. If anybody has any other questions on the AquaHot, please let us know.
We had talked about it at the beginning about a couple of the differences between the Winnebago Journey and the Winnebago Tour, as well as the Meridian and Ellipse, and the flooring will be one of them. Both the Journey and the Tour lines will use the polished porcelain floor. However, the difference would be the inlay. So this detailed inlay that you have here would not be in the Journey or Meridian lines. So that's an upgrade that is located specifically in the Tour and Ellipse. And then of course the way that the tile is laid out is in a more intricate design in the Itasca Ellipse and Winnebago Journey that would be an upgrade from that which is in the Winnebago Journey. And I don't think I said that right. This is in the Winnebago Tour and Itasca Ellipse versus what's in the Journey and Meridian.
I think, Casey, one question that just came in that I don't know the answer to, but we can certainly get back to the consumer. One of our customers had chatted in wanting to know how much heat the fireplace puts out. And to be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that, but if you just submit a chat on our website or just shoot us a note, we can certainly research that so that we have your contact information to get back to you, unless you know that, case.
I don't off the top of my head.
Good question, though. I mean, it certainly will provide enough heat to heat the entire area forward of the bedroom area. In fact, a lot of times we have consumers telling us that it needs to be turned down. So we can certainly get the BTU output. I do know that the AquaHot system is a 59,000 BTU output for all three of the zones. Another question that had been submitted is what type of awnings are on the outside. On the outside of the coach, because this does have full body paint, we do use acrylic fabric upgraded awnings, and with the patio awnings they are metal wrapped. The reason why we use an acrylic fabric awning is because it allows us to have the air breathe in and out of the patio area so that it doesn't trap the heat up against the slide outs where the full body paint is. They're 12 volts, so you can actually utilize them when you're dry camping or hotel camping. The slide out awnings that are just the slide out toppers, for lack of a better word, just automatically come out, and then the window awnings are a manual crank out with a traditional latch with the nylon strap. And a really good point that Bob had actually just chatted in. Bob had said that in most cases they actually only use the fireplace up in the front parlor area, which is really just going to be that area forward of the bedroom. So, and we have had a lot of consumers tell us that in most cases they actually have to turn the fireplace down because it provides so much heat. The main reason why you'd use the AquaHot system, if you're not utilizing the heat pumps that are in the three overhead air conditioners, is that it does provide a slightly more radiant sense and it keeps your tanks warm. And then he continued on with the point, which is a very valid point, that we typically only use the Aqua hot system to warm the bedroom in their 42 QD. Great questions today. And I think that question that was just chatted in is certainly quotable. Tom had mentioned that I've been studying this unit for 2 years, and by far the best RV for the money. And that's one thing that Winnebago has really tried to position this coach with is, you know, you hate to use the word value when it comes to a luxury style RV, but I really think it's appropriate in this case. You know, they've really tended to try to keep price point down because there's a lot of volume that's built with this. This has been one of the most successful diesel pushers in our history, and it's because it provides so much value for the price point. You know, you look at coaches that are $500,000 to $1 million, and ask yourself, at what point does the value not actually provide the same amount that you're actually being charged for the coach? So, you know, there is certainly a big value add with the Winnebago Tour and the Itasca Ellipse, and it has been a very successful coach for us and a very successful coach for Winnebago Industries. You know, we've had a lot of questions actually chatted in, and actually just a lot of valued points. We had a customer just make the point to thank us for doing these. It's very valuable. We can actually take that one step further as we wrap up this interactive presentation. We can actually do this type of an interactive presentation one-on-one with each of you at any point in time with any RV that we have in stock. Whether that be a pre-owned coach we're actually seeing a lot of value with, but also with any type of a new coach. So we certainly have taken the high definition walkthroughs that we've been doing on our coaches for several years and really taken them to the next level by incorporating a live interactive presentation. We can set those up one-on-one with any of our sales consultants at any point in time. So if you're working with any of our 4 RV sales consultants here at Lichtsinn Motors, just let us know and we'll set them up. The great thing about it is that you can do it from the comfort of your home or office. If your partner or spouse is working somewhere, we can conference them in so that we can do it as a 3-way and certainly engage the most convenient time to allow us to do an interactive presentation with you. So we certainly appreciate the feedback. So as we wrap up this interactive presentation, I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Again, we're here only 1 mile north of the Winnebago Industries plant, making us America's closest dealer to Winnebago Industries. Lichtsinn Motors here in Forest City, Iowa. From our family to yours, happy holidays, and please have a safe and enjoyable holiday season. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next month.